Hello hookers, welcome back to Inspired by a Smile. My name is Christy and today I'm going to show you how to make one of these pink guards from Squid Game. I have these two made already, so we're going to do the square one. So if you have a 4mm hook and some yarn, I'm using cotton, but I do recommend you use acrylic. This doesn't stretch very well, it's all I had. So if you're ready, let's get started. Alright, so we're going to start off with the leg. Again, I did use cotton, but I do highly recommend acrylic. It's really hard to turn your pieces inside out with this. I just didn't have any acrylic pink, and I wanted to make them, so I just chose to use my cotton yarn. So I am going to start with a chain of 4 and then join at the end with a slip stitch. That's going to be the magic circle. You can definitely use a magic circle like an original one, but I can't do them, so this is what I do. So do a chain after that, after you join it, and then you want to do 8 half double crochet right into the circle. Make sure you crochet over the little piece of yarn. Again, that's 8 half double crochet into the circle. While you're doing that, I would like to thank everyone for watching my videos so far and being part of my journey. I really do appreciate it. If you haven't yet, please like the video. It goes a long way. It helps keep it bumped up in the algorithm. And if you're not subscribed with notifications on, make sure that you are, so that you see all of my upcoming videos, whether it's a tutorial, a promotional video, or just some fun videos. I also post videos about crochet and yarn, so you don't want to miss any. And if you want to, you can follow me on all of my other social accounts. They're all linked at the top of my page, or sorry, my channel. I do giveaways and stuff on my Facebook page mostly. And if you also are interested, it's not ever expected, but if you are interested, I have subscriptions set up on Facebook for $1.29 a month. The first 5 people to subscribe get a free gift, and then after 10 subscriptions I'm going to do a giveaway for subscribers only. And then I do have a one-time donation through PayPal if you want to do that, and then Patreon also for $3 a month. They're all linked at the top of my YouTube channel as well if you want to check that out. And if you also need help with my tutorials, please feel free to ask. You can ask me on one of my social pages or just right on the video that you're working on. And I also take tutorial requests, guys, so if you have any suggestions, please let me know. Alright, so I'm at the beginning of the row here, so I just did a stitch. I did a half double crochet in the first stitch, and then I'm just putting my stitch marker. This row is going to be the exact same. I'm just going to do a half double crochet in each stitch. It's going to be the last row with the black. My son loves this show, so I decided to make him the guards, and I figured I may as well make a tutorial at the same time. And again, guys, if you do need any help, please feel free to ask. I'm always here ready to answer your questions. I've been told I answer back pretty fast, actually, from other people, so as long as I'm awake, which I'm up pretty much almost all night, most nights, I'm usually available. I'm in Canada, so depending on your time zone, I'm usually awake anyway. Alright, so we're at the beginning. I'm skipping a stitch, and then I'm going to do a slip stitch in this one because I'm going to switch over to pink. So you just got to cut that long enough to attach your other yarn. actually ended up making this leg admittingly a little bit too fat, so I had to take it out after this, but it was fixable. Alright, so just do a chain with the pink after you attach it. Now, this part you're going to want to go not into the top of the stitches, but on the side, that first side stitch. Because once you flip this inside out, it's going to look a lot better. It hides the stitch a little, like when it looks more clean anyway, I guess you could say. When you turn it inside out, it looks a lot better. So again, I'm not going into the top or side, like, or whatever stitches. I'm going right into the side of the stitches, basically on the inside of the piece. You can definitely do this right the regular way if you want to, but I didn't want to see the color change as much, so it helps hide it. So we are really hoping for a season 3 of this. There better be season 3. If you've watched season 2, you'll understand. They really ended it weird. So I'm assuming there's going to be a season 3. I really hope so anyway. We're looking forward to it. I accidentally went in the wrong stitch there. It's a little bit hard to see, but especially because it's black, but and for some reason my stitches just look a bit weird on the top, so I mistaken it for the side stitch. Definitely let me know, guys, if you do have any other tutorial requests for sure. I haven't gotten any in a while. I do like taking your requests. Some of my most made tutorials are actually requested by you guys, so I really appreciate it. Also, if you do have any pictures or videos of your finished projects, please show me. I love seeing them. People have sent me pictures on Instagram or showed me videos on TikTok. So again, all my links are at the top of my YouTube channel for you guys. So if you do want to show me any of your finished projects, please do. I enjoy it, and I usually share them on my Facebook page for everyone else to see. It's an amazing feeling to see my work done by other people and your take on the craft. It's really awesome. It's just like when people send you pictures of your finished project on someone, it feels the exact same feeling. Alright, fix that knot. Bugger. So, see, this is what it looks like after you turn it the right way. There's not really any stitches showing except for maybe a couple because I goofed up there, it looks like. But for the most part, it's a clean looking color change. So now I'm just going to do a half double crochet in that first stitch, and then I'm going to keep going with half double crochet all the way around, You want to make 5 rows total, including the first one of the pink. So again, you want to do a half double crochet each stitch, and you want 5 rows total of the pink yarn. So I'm just going to keep going there. I'll come back when I'm done the leg. Alright, so we have one finished leg here. So I'm just going to skip a stitch and do a slip stitch to finish this off. Now, both legs are a little different. This yarn on the one leg I'm going to cut long enough because I want to sew it to the other leg. So leave a little bit of length to it. I'll show you the other leg in a second. I'm going to turn off the video too to turn that inside out because like I said, it's cotton, hard to stretch, but see that string is shorter. That one you're just going to use to attach the black yarn after. So you can take out your stitch marker and turn that inside out and then make the other leg. I'll be right back after I turn this inside out. Alright, so I've got two nice little legs here. Looking good. So yeah, we've got the little short thread and then the longer thread, as you can see. We're going to sew these together right now. You can decide whether you want to stuff them first or not, but I just waited to stuff them. It makes it a little easier to sew the legs together and then fasten it off inside. So I'm just going in the top of the stitches in between. You just want to do that a few times just to make sure that it's nice and secure. That one definitely didn't go through properly. There we go. Again guys, if you haven't yet, please like the video. It really goes a long way. It helps keep my video in the flow of the algorithm, and other people will see it more the more likes it gets. And if you haven't yet, please make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any upcoming videos. And if you want to follow me on any of my other social accounts or do a subscription or one-time donation, everything is linked at the top of my YouTube channel. It's never expected, of course, but very much appreciated. I have one subscriber on Facebook so far and one patron that I've had for a while. I prefer, though, the Facebook subscriptions, to be honest. That really helps. And it's only $1.29 a month for that. And again, I am having a promotion. If you subscribe and you're the first 5 to subscribe to it, you will get a free gift from me in the mail. And after 10 subscriptions, I plan on doing a subscriber-only giveaway. Alright, so there's enough stitches in there holding them together. I'm just going to fasten off on the inside stitch of the leg right here. Just going through a couple times. Awesome. So I'm just gonna stuff the legs. Bear with me. Like I said, the cotton really sucks in a couple ways, but it at least looks okay after. It was the only pink I had in this color. I tried buying acrylic yarn and they didn't have it at the store I usually go to, so I just went with this. It was either this or embroidery floss, so I knew I wanted them big enough, so I made them with the cotton. The legs were worse to stuff, really, because they're a bit skinnier. Like the arms actually are a little bit easier to stuff. I'm able to get my finger in there. So just get enough stuffing in there. Try not to overstuff them. And once we're done this, we're going to put the belt on the pants. It's a little bit stubborn at first, but once you get it to go down, it's okay. I don't know how people actually crochet with this stuff to make stuffies, to be honest. I usually just use it for dishcloths and wearables. I've seen people make stuffies out of these, and yeah, if I can help it, it won't be happening again. Awesome. Alright, so I'm just going to grab the black here, and we're going to make the belt. So again, you're just going to tie it on to this little piece of yarn that you have here. So you got to wrap the yarn around twice so that you make that, so your stitches on there and whatnot. So I'm going on the inside of the stitch only. Top stitch inside, not like when we made the boots here. So you just got to be a little bit careful sliding it through. You kind of got to guide the yarn over for that first one since you're making the stitch. After that, it's easy sailing. So just go into the inside of the stitch only here, except for the next one. Actually, it's going to be where the belt and all that line up. So I'm going to be going, you'll see, this one's being stubborn. So this is going to be the front. So I'm just going to go right over the stitch. It kind of like goes a little bit down farther, so on the character. See, that one you want like that. And then you're going to continue around on the inside of the stitch only. So you want to just keep doing this all the way around until we get to the beginning, and then I'll show you how to fasten it off and we'll move on from there. So you just want to keep going, guys, all the way around. You're doing awesome so far. Alright, so we're at the beginning here. Just go in the first stitch and we're going to just do a slip stitch here. And then you just want to cut this long enough because we're going to use that piece to sew the body on. There we go. So now we're going to do the torso. So you're going to chain 14. Again, that's a chain of 14. So now you want to join the end with a slip stitch. And then do one chain. And now I'm going to go, it doesn't necessarily matter, but I'm going to crochet into the back bumps of the chain all the way around. When you're done, just count and make sure you have 14 stitches, but it's pretty easy here as long as you didn't make your chain too tight. So again, back bumps only. I'm going to do a half double crochet in each one all the way around. And I didn't actually go in the back bumps for the other two, but I decided to for the tutorial. It's probably best so it comes out straight for you. It was okay for me on the other two, to be honest, though. Whatever you prefer. As long as you have 14 stitches in the round after, we're good. So again, guys, if you haven't yet, please like my video. It really does help. And if you haven't subscribed and turn on notifications, make sure that you do. And if you want to follow me on my other socials, they are all linked at the top of my channel. And if you do want to subscribe or do a one-time donation, it's all up there too. And I definitely love hearing your tutorial requests, so you can ask just right on one of my videos or on any of my social accounts. And again, if you do have any pictures of unfinished, oh my goodness, if you have pictures of your finished projects, please show me those too. I love seeing it. If you do have any questions at all, please feel free to ask, because there's no such thing as a dumb question when it comes to learning. I don't want you to feel like you're stuck and can't make something just because I'm not one of those people that make a tutorial and then don't answer you. I always make sure to answer any questions that you have. Otherwise, it's very discouraging. I see people that make patterns even and then they don't answer the person after, which is really not very cool, in my opinion. if you're gonna be a creator, you gotta be willing to answer people's questions. That's my theory. For the most part, my tutorials are pretty easy to get through. I've had newbies tell me that they made some of my projects on one of their first ones, so that made me feel really good as well. And I know that they're doable. Awesome. So I'm just going to do my head count here for my stitches. So if you do the chain right, you will have 14 stitches on there after. And that's about as much counting as I do. I don't know how people sit and count each row after every row. It's just nuts. If you have the right amount of stitches on your first row, you're most likely going to the entire thing. Unless you, for some reason, add stitches somewhere along the line, but for the most part, you don't have to count each row. I never do. Alright, so I've got my 14 stitches on there. I'm just going to place my stitch marker here so I can see where the beginning of the row is. And I'm not going to be moving it again, just like I didn't before. So for this, you want to do a half double crochet in the starting stitch, and you're going to do one in each stitch all the way around, and including the first row, you're going to have four rows of half double crochet. I'll get that after. Seems like a white piece of cotton or something stuck. So again, guys, you should have 4 rows of half double crochet in each stitch, including the first one for the torso. So I'll just get this started. I'm going to turn off the video in a sec and just keep going. Alright, so we've got the torso done. So you're just going to do a slip stitch in the second one from the hook. Now cut the string or yarn long enough because you're going to need that to sew the head on. So after you remove your stitch marker, you can just turn this inside out. Alright. I know the parts look funny at first, but everything goes together, I promise. I'm not one to just do one piece pieces. Alright, so this is just a basic chain that we're going to sew on the front of the torso. So you want to chain 5. We're just going to start that over. It doesn't want to cooperate. So again, this is just a chain of 5, and then we're going to sew it to the front of the torso. So leave a long enough tail when you go to cut. So you just want to put this where you're going to have the front. So I'm going to make the front where the, as you can see, the longer string is in the back there. Make sure you do have it facing this way too, because that's going to be the top. So I'm just going to line it up here and hold this in place. If you want to put pins, go for it. I don't ever use pins, and it's easy to just hold it there. So I'm going underneath and into the pink here for the first one so that it doesn't mess up my knot or anything. The chain can come apart if you go into that first one. It's a pain in the butt. So now I'm just going to go in and out through the chain and into the torso here until I get to the bottom. Again, guys, thank you all for watching so far. I really do appreciate everybody who watches my videos. I can't wait to get this one uploaded. I haven't done a character one in a very long time, actually, so it's pretty awesome. And these guys seem to be pretty damn popular at the moment. Alright, so to finish off, you can go right into the pink there at the bottom, just like this. You don't have to worry about snipping the little piece of black yarn either, because it's going to get sewn into the, well, you'll see, it'll hide into the body. Yeah, that's what I meant to say. So just go on the inside of the stitch here and just fasten it off. There we go. So make sure that this is facing the right way. Now you can thread the black yarn that was attached to the bottom. And we're just going to hold this in place. Now you're going to be hiding the bottom of the torso into the body a bit. You'll see what I mean once we get some stitches in. So I'm just going to line up the I'm going into the middle of the stitching of the black of the belt, and then into the bottom of the torso. And then into the bottom stitch. do apologize. My daughter decided to bust into the room. So if you hear that, that's just her. So we're just going to keep going along the bottom. Be careful and just go into the bottom stitching of the torso. Just make sure that the line on the torso also lines up with the bottom in the middle there. And as long as you're doing this right, the bottom of the torso will be hidden into the body there. So I'm just going to show you a few more stitches and then I'm going to turn off the video to finish it up and then move on to the next piece. I'll show you what to do next. So yeah, it seems like a little bulgy at first, but it does all hide inside. And I'm just going into the middle there, underneath the top of the stitches basically. Awesome. So just keep going, guys, until you're finished. Alright guys, should have no more interruptions hopefully here. My daughter doesn't seem to be in a very good mood, but this is done. Now I'm just going to leave this thread. I didn't cut it, fasten it off inside. I'm just going to cut it a little. Awesome. So next I'll show you how to make the other arm. I made one already to save some time. It's basically the same as the leg, just a little bit different. I didn't make the hand as big. So we're going to chain 4. And then join at the end with a slip stitch. And then do one more chain. And then crocheting over the little black piece of yarn, you want to do 6 half double crochet into the circle. Again, crochet over the little piece of yarn and do 6 half double crochet right into the circle all together. So now at the beginning stitch, I'm going to do a slip stitch into here because we're going to change color. So you can just cut this long enough to add the pink on. Awesome. So now just after you've attached the pink, do a chain with the pink. And then we're doing the exact same thing as before. You don't want to go into the top stitches or anything. You're going to go into the side of the piece that first stitch underneath the two top stitches or whatever that look like a chain at the top, so that the color change is nice and neat. So I'll just show you how to do the first row and then finish it up off camera, but you'd want to go into that side stitch so that the color change is nice and basically invisible. If you don't care, I mean, you can just do it normally. Awesome. So I'm just going to put a stitch marker here. And now you're going to go in the first stitch and do a half double crochet. And then you want to do a half double crochet in each stitch all the way around. And for the arm you want to do 4 rows of the pink in total. So a half double crochet each stitch, and including the first row of pink you'll have 4 rows. So I'm just going to turn off the camera and finish that up. Alright, arms are done, and I finished it off the same as the leg. You skip a stitch, do a slip stitch, leave the yarn long enough so you can sew the arms onto the body after. And these are nice and turned inside out already. Alright, so now we can move on to the head. So I'm just going to do a chain of 4 and join at the end with a slip stitch. And then do a chain, and you want to crochet over that little piece of yarn and do 10 half double crochet into, 11 half double crochet into the circle. Again, you want to go over the little piece of yarn so you can pull tight at the end, and you want to do 11 half double crochet into the circle. If you haven't yet, guys, please make sure you like the video. It really does help. And if you haven't, please subscribe and turn on notifications so that you don't miss any upcoming videos that I post. And if you want to follow me on any of my other social media accounts, they're all linked at the top of my YouTube channel. And that's there for you if you just want to come talk or show me your finished projects, or if you have any questions about my tutorials, you can ask me on the video themselves, or if you're not comfortable with that, you can ask me on one of my social accounts. And of course, if you do have a tutorial request, please let me know too. Most of the time I do them. It's very rare that I'll say no. I'll at least most likely attempt to do your idea before I decide if I can't do it or not. I enjoy making what you guys want as well, so I can't wait to get this finished. This yarn is really annoying to make stuffies with again, so I wanted to make sure that they were actually the right color as well. I've seen some people make them red, but then they wouldn't be a pink guard if we made it red, so that's just not right. wiggle that into the middle there. So I'm going to do 2 half double crochet in the first stitch, and then I'll place my stitch marker in a second so I can mark it. There's only one increase row on this, so it's this one. So I'm going to put my stitch marker in, and you want to continue with 2 half double crochet in the same stitch all the way around for this row. Just like this. And again, it's the only increase row for the head. Well, this is the hood. Awesome. So just keep going till the end of the row. Okay, so for this row and the next 5 altogether, you want to do 1 half double crochet in each stitch. So again, you want to do a half double crochet each stitch, and you're going to want 5 rows total of them, including this one, guys. So just keep going, 5 rows of 1 half double crochet in each stitch until the end, and then I'll show you how to fasten this off. Awesome. Alright, so I'm at the end here. I'm going to skip a stitch and do a slip stitch, and then leave, you don't have to leave this very long, you're just going to tuck that into the inside of the hood after. So after removing the stitch marker, you can turn that inside out. One of the easiest pieces to turn inside out other than the torso for this yarn. Alright, so now we're going to make the face. So I'm just going to chain 4, and then we're going to join at the end with a slip stitch. Now, after you do a chain, you want to do 10 half double crochet into the circle. Make sure you crochet over the little piece of yarn. Again, that's 10 half double crochet into the circle, and make sure you crochet over the little piece of yarn so that you can pull tight at the end. And if you haven't yet, please go like the video. It's truly appreciated. And make sure you are subscribed with notifications on, and follow me on any of my other social media accounts if you haven't already. I'll be posting videos and pictures as well of I'll be making the front man, but not actually putting a tutorial out because I don't know if everyone has a 3D printer or not. So my husband was awesome and printed me his mask because I don't think it would look very good crocheted. So I'll be posting some videos and pictures of him once he's done, just to show him off. I had to make them for my kid because I figured he should go with his workers, his guards. Alright, so I'm in the beginning stitch. I'm going to do 2 half double crochet in the same stitch. And now I'm going to put my stitch marker. And this is the only increase row for the face. So you want to do 2 half double crochet in the same stitch. Again, you're going to do this all the way around until the beginning of the row. So again, that's 2 half double crochet, same stitch, and you want to do that all the way around until the beginning. And it is the only increase row. Just making sure that you can see it. Awesome. Almost done now, guys. Let's keep going with that row. Alright, so this row is quick and simple. It's going to be 1 half double crochet in each stitch. And it's the last row. So again, just 1 half double crochet in each stitch all the way around till you get to the beginning, and then I'll show you how to fasten this off and then put the symbol on the face. Alright, so to finish it off, it's like the same as basically every other part. Skip a stitch, do a slip stitch. Leave the tail long enough because you're going to use it to sew the face into the hood. So I'll show you guys how to do the square guard. I already have the other 2 made, so if you want to make all 3, it's basically the same concept, you're just making different shapes on the face. So I'm using white embroidery floss. I'm just going to knot it at the end here so that it doesn't come through. Make sure you put a few knots in there, make it big enough. So I actually had to fix this a couple times before I got it right, but I'll just show you the gist of it here. You want to make sure it's in the center of the face. But you're going to start by going with the needle in the back, and then work all the way around. And you'll start each one the same way through the back, and then just make the shape that you're going to be making first. So I already have to fix it here. It's not quite over enough, and again I ended up actually fixing it after, it wasn't in the middle even after I fixed it a couple times, so don't be afraid to pull it out if it's not in the right spot. Essentially as well, I did start it so that the tail for the face is at the bottom there, as you can see, to sew on. You also want your shape to look proper, so make sure it's all straight. So I'm just figuring where to line it up here. The worst part is lining up all the lines, especially for the square. The easiest I find so far was the triangle, actually. Even the circle gave me a bit of a hard time. This and the circle were probably the worst, to be honest. But we managed. Sewing on with embroidery floss can be annoying as it is. I've finally gotten better with letters and that, but these shapes are a little bit challenging, especially you want to make it so it's in the middle and everything of the face. Which again, I had to actually pull it out a couple more times after I even turned off the video because it wasn't in the right spot. Awesome. So I'm just gonna I'm getting this on there just so you can actually see how to do it. The square itself looks good, it's just not in the right spot. I already know I have to fix it, so. Hopefully you guys are better at this than I am and it just works out for you. It's not too hard to fix though, as long as you don't wreck your piece doing it. You just got to be careful. But this is how you do the square. Even after I turned it off and fixed it, I ended up fixing it again, like I said, so I just wanted to make sure that you guys see how to do it. And again, if you're going to make the other two, it's just a circle for the one and a triangle for the other. Which I'm sure you know if you've watched the show. So yeah, I am going to fix it after this, guys, a few times. That's how you make the square on there. I'm already contemplating it here. Alright, moving on. Alright, so I did fix it. We're going to fasten it off. I believe I even fixed it again after this before I even sewed everything together, but you know, it happens. That you want to just snip it. And see, there's the other two. So before we do the head, we actually have to put the arms on, which I'll show you how to do one and then put the other one on off camera. It's pretty straightforward. So I'm just going to stuff the arms here. Again, much easier than the legs were for me, for some reason. Maybe because they're a little bit shorter and stubbier, I don't know. Try not to overstuff them too much here. So this is pretty easy. You're just going to thread the yarn through the needle and then you want to just sew the top up first before you put the arm on. And just put it through a few times to make sure it's nice and closed up. And then you just got to grab the body, turn it to the side, and you want it to face, you can line it up with the leg. Pretty easy and straightforward. And now just hold it against the body, and you just want to thread it through. You want to sew through at the top here, and then back into the arm at the top. And just do it a few times. Make sure the arms are on there nice and securely and tight. Awesome. And again, I'm just going to show you how to put this one arm on, and then we'll move on, because it's the same on both sides. So I will be putting the other one on off camera. But you just have to see how to sew at least one of them on. Just make sure that they do line up and that the other one is like straight with the other one on the other side. So it's just you just gotta have enough stitches in there to make sure the arm is also not looking too funny. Make sure it's to your liking. So when you're done, just go in the inside of the stitch and you can fasten off right here. Go through a couple times. Awesome. And then just snip. So I'm going to stuff this other arm and sew it on, and I'll be right back to show you how to finish off this guy. Awesome. Alright, so I just got to stuff the head. I'm going to line up the little knot there at the bottom with the bottom of the face, and I did just take that little bit of yarn and I sewed it in the inside of the stitch so it's not in the way. I didn't bother sniffing it because it's getting snipping it. Man, since it's being buried under some stuffing. So just stuff the head enough to your liking, and then I'm just gonna show you how to start sewing the face on and then leave you to it. So I am gonna find the knot at the bottom and just line them up. Now you don't want the black to be seen on the outside of the hood, so you're just gonna go on the inside of the stitch of the hood. Just like that. And then you go right back into the black part, which is good because you don't see anything. But inside stitches only on the hood. See, you don't see a thing on the outside. That's what you want. You could probably go in a bit farther if you want an edge on the hood, but this is far enough if you want to just do it like this. So I'm just going to keep going around, guys, and make sure your stitches are close enough together so you don't have any stuffing popping through or anything. It's exciting, we're almost done. So just keep going around, guys, until you're at the end, and I'll show you how to finish it off. Alright, last little bit here. So I'm done with the head. I'm just going to take the needle, and you go right underneath the black piece and into the side over here. So to tuck it in. And Just be careful, pull on it enough so it hides itself inside. Don't snip your piece. So now we're just going to take the head and, well, first you got to stuff the body, that's important. And then we'll get the head on. Again, don't overstuff too much, just get enough in there. These are just going on display for my son, so didn't make them with little kids in mind. I can't wait to get the front man done as well. His mask looks really good, 3D printed anyway. I saw one piece on the internet and it was like, no, I'm not crocheting that mask. It doesn't look right. Okay, so once you thread the needle, just make sure that you have the bottom of the head in line. And we're going to start at the back. So just keep the head on. If you need to put pins or something, go ahead, but I'm just going to hold on to his head. I honestly don't know why I bought pins. I did buy them thinking I might use them, and I never ever did. I think I used them like once for something. I don't even remember what I used them for. You really don't need them, as you can see. So I'm just going into the top of the stitches of the torso and into the bottom of the head. Just making sure also that the head is still lined up at the front. You don't want it, it's not too bad if it's a little off. It just looks like they're looking to the side or something, but you don't want it completely off. So again, I'm just going with the needle into the top of the torso, and we're going into the bottom of the head here of the stitches. I'm not going to turn the video off at all now, just going to keep going because I want you to make sure that you got this on there right. And again, I do appreciate everyone watching. If you haven't yet, please like the video, subscribe and turn on the notifications if you haven't already, because I will be posting more videos, whether it's a tutorial, promotional video, or just a random yarn video of some sort. In the summer, I do like to do videos of what we're doing as a family and whatever, so. And plus I do random acts of crochet kindness, which mostly are done in the summer, but I did do one this winter since I made some hats and had some scrunchies that I was trying to sell. So I did that, and I put hot chocolate in with it. It was really fun to go out and do one for winter, but we usually enjoy doing them with our electric scooters, so I hit up all the little bird boxes, the free libraries. They seem to be a hit doing it that way too. And it's a great way to do, if you want to crochet but not have everything laying around after, and you're not into selling like I am, it's a great way to make other projects that you want to make but not keep, and get out your business name if you want to as well. I always put my business card in the bag along with a note. So it's fun to do. So we're just going to go back around a couple times here, guys. You want to make sure that it looks good. This cotton yarn is really something here too, so I got to fix the back a little and pull those stitches in, but hopefully you're using acrylic and it's not giving you a problem. I don't think I'll ever crochet a Stuffy with this shit again. Maybe just his front man because they're already in cotton, but that's about it. The things we do for our kids sometimes, eh? He's right into this show, of course, too. He likes all the glory shows and weird shows and movies. Again, if you do have any questions at all for the tutorial or have tutorial requests or just want to talk, you can message me directly on the video or on any of my social media accounts, all linked at the top of my YouTube channel. So I'm going to go around again here. Make sure you go around as many times as you need to. I think if I was using acrylic, I wouldn't probably have to go around as many times, but I'm making sure it's nice and tight and secure and stitches are close together. The back is where my most concern is. So there's a couple gaps at the back here. But he looks good once done. Also, guys, if you do follow me on my Facebook page, like I said, I do a lot of giveaways. I'm at 14,000 followers right now. When I hit 15,000, I'm going to do a massive giveaway. I did a big one at, I think it was 10K followers for a really huge penis crochet. He's in blanket yarn. So at 15, I'm going to do something even bigger. So if you want to follow me over there, that's where I do a lot of, like I said, giveaways, even small ones in between. I just finally, because Canada Post was on strike, I didn't get my last one out for a while, but I did a Halloween giveaway for a Jack Skellington hat. And luckily, they finally were forced back to work, so I was able to mail that out recently, which I'm excited about. So we're almost done here. I'm almost satisfied with this. Making sure his head is on there nice and good. And then I gotta get my son's shelves up that I had to get for him for this because he's got like no room on his desk where he likes to display things. So I'll get those up and these guys up on his wall. They can definitely be made bigger if you upsize your yarn and hooks as well. Especially if you want to do blanket yarn, that would be cute. Nice big ass dude. I might do some granny squares of these too, we'll see. Alright, so I am just gonna finish this off now. Just making sure I'm gonna put it through here. He's a little bit chubby, but he's good. Alright. Awesome. So again, guys, if you want to make the other two, you just have to change up the face a little bit and make their symbols. But here's all three of the pink guards from Squid Game. I'm going to zoom out in a second so you can see them a little bit better. And again, like the video if you haven't already, guys. I really do appreciate everyone watching. They're all done. Awesome. Yay!